Watch any senior developer today, and you'll see entire architectures auto-populating across their terminal at speeds that used to take teams entire weeks to write. The data from 2026 makes this the new baseline. 90% of developers now use an AI tool at work. Look at this breakdown. 74% have already moved past standard chatbots like ChatGPT and are combining highly specialized tools into custom workflows. Staring down a list of 10 distinct AI coding tools is overwhelming. To clear your next technical interview, you have to identify the specific combination that actually delivers a production-ready codebase. Relying on a single tool for every task is an active disadvantage. A developer forcing a general chatbot to write UI components, debug architecture, and run local code is wasting 8 to 12 hours a week compared to peers who map specific tasks to specialized AI. In the Indian IT market, candidates who can't demonstrate this level of efficiency are being filtered out of the hiring pipeline. For an engineering manager or architect interview at a top firm, demonstrating how you orchestrate these tools is now a baseline technical requirement. Building the stack requires balancing one central technical trade-off: context versus control. You have to decide when to use low-friction tools that live directly inside your IDE, and when to hand over control to powerful external agents that can rewrite entire repositories. Getting this selection wrong has immediate consequences. Pointing a general-purpose AI at a complex architectural migration often creates more bugs than it solves, effectively stalling projects that should have taken hours. We evaluate your options by splitting them into 3 distinct categories, starting with the daily drivers. These are tools designed to eliminate context switching by sitting right beside your code. If you are building native Android applications, Google's Gemini Code Assist is the definitive choice. Looking at the documentation, Gemini is built directly into Android Studio by the IDE's own team, giving it native understanding of Android APIs. With zero friction, no context loss, you can ask it to generate a Room DAO directly in line. For developers working outside of the Android ecosystem, GitHub Copilot remains the most widely adopted alternative for broad cross-language workflows. Checking the GitHub Copilot entry on this list, it holds a massive 76% developer awareness. While it lacks Gemini's deep, specialized Android focus, it makes up for it with excellent issue-to-PR automation and broad IDE support. These daily drivers are essential for raw typing speed and single-file additions. But when a project requires you to migrate a massive legacy application, their single-file focus completely lacks the required architectural power. That brings us to the heavy lifters. These are agentic tools built to read, plan, and refactor across entire codebases. This ranking highlights Claude Code at number 1. With a 91% satisfaction score and absolute dominance on SWE benchmarks, it operates natively in your terminal. It reads the whole repository, formulates a plan, and executes massive multi-file rewrites. The top alternative in this category is Cursor, an AI-native fork of VS Code. It generates full-stack features incredibly fast and allows you to switch between multiple AI models on the fly. Scrolling down to the Cursor entry, we see the critical trade-off. Cursor requires strict, experienced oversight. If you treat it as a set-and-forget tool, you will introduce costly, deeply integrated bugs and security flaws into your application. The workflows are completely different. Claude is for methodical, terminal-based architectural planning. Cursor is built for rapid, inline iteration. These heavy lifters can execute the output of 3 junior developers simultaneously, but deploying them without senior-level architectural judgment to review their work is a massive risk to your codebase. Finally, we have the niche specialists. These tools fill the critical gaps where coding agents fall short, like deep technical research and infrastructure. Looking at Perplexity AI, it replaces traditional Google searches by pulling real-time citations from Android documentation. Then, V0 converts V0 design prompts into production-ready React components, while Amazon Q Developer natively understands your AWS architecture to generate Terraform configs. But there is a harsh reality for developers working in Indian tech sectors, like witch companies, global capability centers, or fintech: strict enterprise compliance. This Tab 9 entry outlines the exact solution for regulated environments, offering air-gapped deployments and zero retention policies. The trade-off is unavoidable. You sacrifice the bleeding-edge creativity of cloud-based agents to meet strict corporate IP security standards. Proposing a massive cloud-based code reader during an interview for a banking application will disqualify you immediately. Recognizing when to prioritize code privacy over sheer generating power is exactly what interviewers look for in an engineering manager. With these 10 tools mapped out, you can start assembling the specific stack that matches your career trajectory. Stack 1 is for the regulated enterprise developer, operating inside institutions like JP Morgan or a major healthcare providers. This stack relies entirely on Tab 9 for local autocomplete and Perplexity for safe external research. You completely avoid connecting repository-wide cloud agents to the codebase. Stack 2 is for the solo startup developer. Here, rapid iteration and deployment speed completely outweigh corporate compliance concerns. This stack pairs Cursor for lightning-fast application features with V0 to deploy backend user interfaces in a matter of hours, entirely ignoring enterprise IP blockers. Stack 3 is designed for the architect or engineering manager. It manages the constant shift between high-speed daily coding and massive repository-wide refactoring. This table breaks down Revenger's recommended stack for this leadership track. You run Gemini Code Assist inside Android Studio for zero-friction boilerplate. You deploy Claude Code via the terminal for whole app rewrites, and you keep Perplexity AI open for complex technical research. Operating this specific combination means managing multiple subscription fees and learning to context switch between your IDE and the terminal, but mastering it yields a guaranteed 8 to 12 hours saved every single week. In 2026, AI is effectively your junior development team. Your success in a senior interview depends on managing them, assigning the right tools to the right tasks, and owning the final architecture.